Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada, and Rocky Mountain Barbecue, Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best.
The Stampeders will not win the Grey Cup because the Argos have their number. 2 straight wins this year, 5 straight wins going back to the beginning of 2010. So is it a foregone conclusion? The Argos have the Stamps number. Forget about winning?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm going, and I don't know why they're going to play this game then, obviously. The funny thing is, there's so many parallels to me to 2005, or sorry, 2008 when the Stamps went into Montreal. Everybody felt like Montreal had all the momentum. They were at home. They're the team that everybody was focused in on, and the Stamps came in as the sort of newbies. You know, they don't need to win now because they haven't been here that much. Toronto, to me, is this team of so many question marks and so many, with what they've done to get where they are. Chris Jones obviously left this organization, the Stamps, in a weird situation last year. Took that job without getting a formal permission to do so. They got fined for tampering. $5,000 is not a whole sum of money, but just the fact that they recognized that it was wrong what they did. And then it's Jim Barker and Scott Milanovic and Chris Jones, all former people that were with the Stamps at one time. They have a lot of history. They have a lot of players: Brandon Isaac, Robert McCune, Tony Washington, E.J. Kowali, even though he only spent a little bit of time here. Cackert. They've got a lot of familiar faces over there. So it's going to be a week full of storylines. It's going to be a lot of fun to be there for that because and another parallel to 2008, we've got an MOP showdown between a Stampeder and the home team, and it
was Calvillo and Burris before, was it?
It was Calvillo and Burris in 2008.
Now it's Cornish and
Calvillo won when I thought Burris was the more deserving player. This year you can make an argument for Chad Owens or Jon Cornish. They're very obviously different players. So if Cornish loses on Thursday night, that's going to be a interesting parallel as well, because Henry was so upset about losing that. He felt that he had to be respected for what he's done. And
he went public and said that. I was a little surprised.
Yeah, he came into the meeting room in that 2008 awards night. He came in and he was mumbling because he was so angry. Yeah. He was like, dang, I don't know what, Stampeders get no respect. Well, no, you get no respect. Because then he just put it on, said Sandro also lost that to special teams honor to Dominic Dorsey, if I recall, another Argonaut. And it was a time where that really galvanized that team because they went with the nobody's given us any respect. Well, this time is going to be different because they're 6.5-point favorites or something to open.
The Argos are 6.5.
No. The Stamps are.
Stamps are.
They're going to be heavily favored going in because of what they've done and how they knocked off the champs. So it's a much different scenario in that respect. But it's the same one. Hometown. They're fighting the crowd. They're going to be fighting all the momentum for the home team, and Ricky Ray was a thorn in their side previously, and last year he actually knocked them out of the playoffs. So, so much stuff, and I feel like I've got it all swimming in my brain. So it's going to be a big week.
Play the game. Let's
fast forward to Sunday and let's just kick it off already. We've got a long way before we get there.
But Ricky Ray looks like he's coming to his own at the right time. Just before the playoffs and into the playoffs, and he can be a force to stop. It's one thing. All respect to Travis Lulay, but Ricky Ray at his best is in a league onto his own. Don't you think so? That is the guy. And the Stamps they haven't really had success against them in the past. A great deal.
Against Ricky Ray, no. Ricky Ray's been able to have these amazing games and comebacks against the Stamps, and it always felt when I would be sitting at a Stamps game and they would have time left on the clock and less than a touchdown lead, and I'd be like, Ricky Ray, this is what he does. Yeah. He engineers comebacks. And it's so weird to have the Ricky Ray to be playing the Stampeders in a Grey Cup. It just feels wrong because he's played them so many times on Labor Day and the Labor Day rematch and playoff games, and it just felt like, to me, this is a weird feeling, but it's almost fitting that this is the way it goes because the Stamps are facing somebody they know well and a defense they know well. I mean, Chris Jones, they know him well, and it's going to be, I think, a classic CFL game.
Classic in the fact it's a 100th Grey Cup too, Ian, and it's in Toronto, and the league got what it wanted. It got the Argos in their own Grey Cup too. It's almost like they planned it this way.
Oh, they didn't plan that. Don't start sitting on the grassy knoll and start rubbing your chin like, "Ooh, that doesn't."
I'm glad it's happened, actually.
Yeah. Well, nobody. Well, maybe I'm just biased because I was covered 3 straight Montreal Grey Cups, and they were very dull by the end of that cycle. This is a fresh story. There's lots of fun angles, and there's lots of interesting things that are going to happen. And Montreal not being there is not a terrible thing in my mind.